What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have another zombie deck profile for you guys. So let's get this started. First of all, 2 Glow Up Bloom. So he's basically, level 1 tuner, gets Doom King, get Eldritch, gets Jack-o'-Lantern into your board or into your hand, whatever you need. I usually summon him off of a Needle Fiber or Halqifibrax or whatever you say his name. So, pretty good card. Next we have Tinny. The only reason I run him is because, say if you draw him and either a Mizuki, Gozuki, Banshee, Solitaire, anything you need in your hand, he special summons himself onto the board. So that is literally just a free target for Needle Fiber or Halqifibrax. And next we have one of our main starters, Unizombie. His effects go, hey, target one monster on the board. Himself is if he's the only one, discard one card in your hand, he gains level, or you can send one zombie type monster from your deck to the graveyard, he gains a level. So basically the plan is, Tinny, him on board, drop Banshee, and plays. And we all know about Ash Blossom, great hand trap. I run at least 2 in here, Threes can get a little clunky in this build, but you can run 3 if you want. I run 2 Mizuki. 3 is fine, but 2's my perfect number. Mizuki's basically a monster reborn for zombies. That's all he is. He's just a monster reborn for zombies. Another card that I run 3 of is Solitaire. Shiranui Solitaire. Shiranui Solitaire, its effect is you contribute 1 zombie monster, special summon 1 zombie tuner, reserve defense from your deck. So basically you go Solitaire into Uni or Solitaire into Bloom, and you just have plays there. It just helps out. Next we have 1 copy of Gozuki. Gozuki is basically a hard once returned foolish burial, which helps out a lot. His second effect is basically when he is sent to the graveyard, you can banish 1 zombie type monster from your grave, especially on 1 zombie in hand. It's very useful, especially if you have a Doom King stuck in your hand, or Jack-o'-Lantern stuck in your hand, or you have plays to do or something. Next we have 2 copies of Necrold Banshee. Her effects are basically, when she's on board, she protects zombie rolls from being destroyed, which is very, very powerful in this build. Her second effect, which is the most used, is a quickie. Her effect is basically you can banish this card from your field or graveyard and activate zombie rolls directly from deck. Basically, she dodges Ash Blossom. So if your opponent drops Ash on Banshee, it doesn't go through. It's activation, not adding, not anything like that. So, Jack-o'-Lantern is very optional. I run him because, hey, say if I have a Mizuki, a Uni, and him in hand, or him and Tinny, and shit like that. Basically, discard 1 zombie, special summon him from your hand. Very good because he's a level 7, and if you have Tinny, you can go into Omega, Savage, anything you need. His other effect only activates during your opponent's main phase, and is also a quickie. Target 1 zombie type monster in either graveyard, special summon that monster, banish it when it leaves the field, right? And then Jack-o'-Lantern gets banished until the end phase. So he saves himself, and then say if you're playing against, let's say, Dark Magician, just throwing something out there. Basically, target a Dark Magician in their grave, summon it to your side, and then try to get rid of it somehow, if you can, if you want to, too. Because then that just wastes a Dark Magician, too. And then we have Big Boy Doom King. He's basically the boss monster of your deck. He comes back during any standby phase if a field spell is up in the field spell zone. His other effects are, once per chain, you can either negate a zombie effect that's just been activated, or banish 1 monster from either player's grave or field. That's non-targeting either. And the only problem with Doom King is he has to activate during a chain. But that's very, very common in a zombie deck. Yeah, he's your boss. Next we have Golden Lord, Eldritch. I run him because I run the whole Eldritch package because they're more zombie cards, they're more control based, and they help me out. For example, Golden Lord. You can send this card, one other card, one spell or trap card from your hand to the grave, target one card in the field, send it to the graveyard. That's very useful when you're going up against like pendulum players. Like, say if they can't set up properly during the first turn, which is very unlikely, you can just steamroll them with this. Um, and then when he's in your graveyard, you can target one spell or trap on your side of the board, destroy that card, add him back to hand, and then if you do, you can special summon one zombie type monster, and then it gains 1,000 attack and defense, and cannot be destroyed with card effects, which is very good because it's temporary, but it's very good because, like, say if you're going for a game-ending play, you can just hey, he becomes 35, swing. And next we have everyone's beloved card, Monster Reborn. It's Monster Reborn. Same thing with Foolish Burial. Send one. 1-for-1. Very useful in this deck, especially running 4 level 1s. And plus with say I get Banshee in hand type thing, or Doom King, or a Mizuki. Or Gozuki sometimes. Those are the main cards I really send. And next we have the main card of the deck, Zombie World. When it is activated, everything on the board and in the graveyard becomes zombie type monsters. It's literally just the heart and soul of the deck. And then its second effect is, which is very uncommon for people to actually know, is neither player contributes summon monsters except zombie type monsters. Very useful. Next we have Cursed Outland. You cannot declare attacks except with zombie type monsters. Perfectly fine. If zombie rolls up, you have all zombies. Its effects are you can pay 800 life points, add one Eldritch monster or golden land spell or trap from your deck to the hand. That's very useful for getting Eldritch to hand and then dropping a spell or trap with him and then popping Cursed Eldland to summon him. And then, if this card's sent from Spell Trap Zone to the graveyard, you can send one Eldritch monster or Golden Land Spell Trap from your deck to the grave. So it's also foolish for the Eldritch stuff. Very useful. And next, we have Super Poly. Super Poly spell speed 4, discard 1, fusion summon. Easy. Very useful. Next, we have Infinite Impermanence. Everyone should know what this card does. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Negate its effects until the end of the turn. It's a hand trap. It's very useful. Next, we have one of my favorite cards, Rivalry of the Warlords. This card with combo with Zombie World creates a special lock called the Zombie Lock, where say if your opponent has one monster on board and Rivalry and Zombie World's on board, that's a zombie. They can only summon zombies. Now they can still set monsters and everything, but as soon as that one face-up monster leaves, they can flip one other monster, and that still locks them. That means if they don't have a zombie in their extra deck or in their deck or anything, they're just stuck. Unless they have an out to it, like MST, Twin Twisters, stuff like that. And next we have the Golden Land traps. So both of them are monster traps, so they both become level 5 light zombie monsters when they're activated, when they special summon. And if Eldritch is on board, a Golden Lord, this one lets you banish one card from either player's graveyard. I don't think it's target. I'm not 100% on that, so I don't know. I don't really use the banish effects, as you can tell, because I don't have their cards, but, if you could read it, go right ahead. And then this one lets you destroy one face-up card on the fucking field. Very useful for, you going second type thing, Now moving on to the extra deck. We're going to go through the fusions first. We have Nether Soul Dragon. Takes 2 zombie monsters. Very common for this deck. So basically his gimmick is when you attack a monster with him, that monster is not destroyed, but your opponent still takes the battle damage, or you still take battle damage, whatever. But that monster's attack becomes 0. and you get a token with the original attack. So then you just attack with a token with that max damage. It's just like that. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon's literally just here for 2 dark monsters. It's very common in this deck. But I usually mostly use his destruction effect when he's destroyed to destroy all special monsters my opponent controls. But everyone should know what this card does. It's very useful. Next we have Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord. 1 Eldritch monster, 1 level 5 higher zombie type monster. He becomes Eldritch, the Golden Lord, while in the field, cannot be destroyed with battle or card effects. You can tribute 1 zombie type monster, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it, but it cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. So basically, the gimmick with him is basically still one of your opponent's monsters, and then link summon, sync climb, whatever you need at that time, and just keep on playing. Or say if your opponent has a very big monster that you don't want to deal with for attacking, just still it, attack with everything else. Next we have Formion Synchron. When this card is synchro summoned, you can draw 1 card once per chain during your opponent's main phase. You can immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card. So basically you summon Formion Synchron during your opponent's main phase with Hyprax. I'll get to him later, but basically you go with him and Doom King into Sun Saga, returning Formion back into the extra deck to destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Very useful. And then we have Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon. This dude, whew, oh boy, he gains 100 attack for each zombie on the board and graveyards. When another zombie monster is destroyed with battle, you can special summon 1 zombie monster from either player's graveyard to the field. So he becomes a beefsteak and a monster reborn. Very useful. And then we have the OG zombie card, Cyframe Lord Omega. During the standby phase, you can return 1 of your banished monsters or cards back to the graveyard. Very useful. I mainly use it to bring back Mizuki or Banshee, because those are like top 2 I use. His second effect is during your opponent's main phase, you can banish this card and 1 card randomly from your opponent's hand until your standby phase. So basically, it rips a card out of your opponent's hand so they don't have that card. It's random, so maybe you can get maybe one of their combo pieces or something junky. I also run the other Shenui Synchro. I only really run him because he's a level 8 zombie synchro, and sometimes I'm locked into zombies, so I really don't have a choice. But if this card special summon, you can banish 1 zombie monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the banished monster's original attack until the end of this turn. And then if this card is on the field as with a battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 of your banished zombie monsters with 0 defense, return it to the graveyard. So basically, when he's destroyed, target Bloom, return him back, and then I think Bloom's effect does activate. If not, you would send like something like Solitaire or Uni, Uni or something else. Next we have Borreload Savage Dragon. Everyone should know what this card does. When summoned, you can target a link monster in your grave. He gains the counters equal to the link rating of that card, and those counters are negations. I usually have him as either a level 1 or a level 2 counters on him to have negation. He's also a Nami negate, so he can negate anything once per turn, which is very useful. I already went over Sun Saga, I think. Yeah, I did, basically. Next, we have Link Kuriboh. Now, I mainly use Link Kuriboh to help Link climb into Vampire Sucker or Doom King, because when you guys watch the Duel replays, you guys will understand. But he can also, it's Link Kuriboh. Everyone knows what Link Kuriboh does. When your opponent monster declares an attack, you target tribute this card, change that opponent's monster's attack to 0 until the end of this turn. And then if he's in the graveyard and you have a level 1 monster on board, you can tribute that level 1 monster, special summon him onto the board. So he basically just keeps coming back, and he's just a League 1 dark, just cybers. Like, he's good. Next, we have Christian Hikefax. When this card is linked summon, you can special summon one level 3 or lower tuner from your hand or deck in defense position when it cannot activate its effects this turn. So basically what I said earlier was Uni, drop Banshee with Tenny or something in board to go in Hulk. Hulk also gets you Bloom. Bloom would go into Link Rebo. Bloom would also banish to grab you Doom King, and bada bam, you have Vampire Sucker. And then I already explained what he does during your opponent's main phase. Now, Vampire Sucker is definitely a 2 of. Trust me, I've noticed. If you would tribute a monster for a tribute summon, you can tribute a monster's your opponent controls, even though you do not control them. That effect's not really used. It is mainly these effects right here that are mainly used. You can target one monster in your opponent's grave, special summon it to your opponent's field and finish position, but it becomes zombie type. That is good, because its second effect also activates. If a zombie monster is special summoned from either graveyard, draw one card. She basically just helps you draw. So basically, when you sent Doom King and Link Rebo for her, during your opponent's standby phase, when Doom King comes back, you could draw one card, which is very useful. You can draw into Ash, Imperm, Super Poly, a combo piece, you know, anything. Next, we have Masquerena. 2 non-link monsters for this one, boys. Sucks, I know. During your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this card resolves, Link Summon. Okay, so basically you want to use her and another monster to go into Unicorn. I'm also going to explain Unicorn. When Unicorn's Link Summon, you discard one card, then target one card on the field, shuffle it back to the deck. So basically, Masquerena gets you into Unicorn, and Unicorn just helps you, like, say no to your opponent. Yeah, so there's a lot of things in this deck that, you know, you could use for yourself. You could, do whatever. It's up to you.